Well, here we are in dysfunction, I mean Republic of Rome again. Yeah. And it is really becoming a dysfunction at this point. So, I ran through I just ran through the forum phase, which means, I went through the deaths, there weren't any, income, etc. We had this guy once again showing the world, hey, I'm a good guy, and I'm going to give him a little blue marker because he's getting a lot of goodwill here. He threw another $10 into the state treasury. Our Rome Council threw a major game, though, giving himself popularity. Popularity is more valuable. Buying influence is usually just not a great move for you. And it lowered the unrest. And we also saw a somewhat smaller game thrown, I believe, by Aelius. But now it's time to see. This is our current dude in Rome. He's got a +1 to the die roll total because he has 2 popularity and there's 1 unrest. And he gets a 8, 9, 10, raises unrest by 1. That's not too bad given the situation. Because during that forum phase we got Hamilcar. Hamilcar adds 3 to the strength of the Punic War. Okay, that's bad. But he also adds a new disaster and a new standoff number. And that's worse. Now, I want to get the Macedonian War out of the way. I've got somebody there that I can make into a proconsul. And I think that's the best that I can do at this point. Because I don't have 3 wars anymore, so I can't have a dictator. And I don't have any war over 20. Hamilcar's not quite as good as, say, Hannibal. Alright, well, the Senate's going to have to figure out what it's going to do. It does have one slight advantage, which is it has the Rhodian Maritime Alliance, which is going to give it 8 extra fleets for free. Of course, they go away once it defeats the largest of the wars in terms of naval requirements, which is the Macedonian one that they're fighting. They may not want to take it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's not going to really help them if they win that war, and if they don't win that war, they're probably screwed anyway. So the Senate will probably vote that down. What else? We got all these concessions to hand out, and we got the war to fight. And at least we can build a decent-sized army to fight that war. So Senate's adjourned once again. Somebody who was left out tribuned the package of concessions. If they were handed out one at a time, nobody could do that, but on the other hand, somebody might get a bonus one, and the rest might not get handed out, or something along those lines. There are no governorships to hand out. Everybody's sitting on them right now. We sent reinforcements to Julius. Let's see what he can do. He's sitting on quite a bit, actually. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Plus 4 is 25. Is that right? I thought I had more than that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, he's only 25. Okay, so I only give him a plus 13. I thought I had given him more than that. He's got enough navies to cover. Okay, so our total is a 9. That is not a bad number. 13 makes it a 22. That's a victory with no losses. Bang, he just defeated the Macedonian War, which gives him 6 popularity. Not very useful. And 6 influence. The reason it's not useful is because he has too much influence to be ever trusted with a real position again. He's also going to get to convert one of his legions, and he has a victory. However, there's an unprosecuted war. Got to roll. See if tax farmer goes away. Tax farmer 1 would disappear. That's this poor guy's concession. Goes into the destroyed concessions pool. Those can come back, but All right. The Macedonian War doesn't have anything special. He does not have cash on hand. He can't test their loyalty with any value. He's just going to return like a good little Roman, and he's going to get a legion aligned to him. I don't think anything exciting is going to happen in the card play turn. It might, though. You see, this guy's sitting, unfortunately, on two valuable cards. One that would have been useful against the Macedonians, and one that's useful against the Punic War. Unfortunately, he doesn't really want to give them to the people they would help. Oh, wait. Hold on. Claudius is gone. Okay, so we're going to see Scipio Africanus, show up over here. That should have happened last turn. But that's going to be a big bonus. Alright, well, we'll go back to the beginning of the next turn, I guess, after I play the cards. I don't think anything else exciting is going to happen, but we'll see. Well, we have a couple of interesting things, I guess, happening in here in Rome. For one thing, as we mentioned, Scipio Africanus has showed up. It's time to take the Punic War out. The second one. They did the first one, I hope. I believe they did. I hope they did. If they didn't, it's going to come out and it's going to be very bad. And I'm not sure they did. Junius got the Sicilian grain off his deck, which is going to be somewhat useful. Quinticus came back from Sicily. He can't be sent back to a governorship without his consent this turn. And because of my aging rule, it's more difficult. Usually somebody only goes for one governorship in a game. It's possible to stick them in two and they die partway through or something. We see that Sardinia, Corsica improved, and that's about it. Sicily did not. State finances look good. One war. We got a guy who can handle it. Hopefully, Rome is going to survive this one. So a lot of cards came out. None of them was that first Punic War. I think it was defeated, but I don't really remember. What did come out was the first Illyrian War. Now that's inactive, and it's going to create a state of drought, which actually upped that by one. And we have our net roll was a 5. Unrest jumped up by 4. Junius really failed to pacify the crowds properly. Manpower shortage means we're going to be paying $20 per legion if we build any. I think there's no real reason to pursue the Illyrian War, even though it causes the drought, and that's a problem in and of itself. But we have the person we want pursuing the Punic War. We want that out of the way. We want it done. We don't want the third Punic War coming up, or the first if it is in there. I think I handled it. So, some sort of agreement has to be come to with this guy who's been kind of the pariah of the Senate recently. And we'll see if what can happen there. Well, that senatorial phase turned into a royal pissing match. Nothing too terribly exciting happened out of it. Basically, this guy has been seen as a little bit of a press, especially by this guy. And this guy, basically, he was upset because Junius would not, as the Rome Council, would not pay, and did not pay to reduce the unrest. And Junius says, "Oh, that was my mistake. I, didn't set up for him." Whatever. He's taking it as, well, that's bullshit. I'll be, Rome Council, and I'll pay for it, but I want to prosecute him and take the grain out of his hands. Concession he just picked up. Especially since there's a drought in play, and that's important, and all this, that, and the other. And pretty much nobody else really cared about that bullshit. And what ended up falling out was Terentius, although a number of tribunes were played over this, Terentius ended up becoming Rome consul. Scipio is field consul. Junius was allowed to be censor because he couldn't get reasonable assurances that Plautius would not prosecute him. So he actually tribuned Plautius's ascension. A fairly large army has been sent out, with the Navy to support it, to face Hamilcar in the Punic War under Scipio. Let's see what we got. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. He's facing 18, so that's plus 7. Doesn't sound too great. Make it plus 12, and he's not affected by special rolls. And he gets a huge roll anyway, a 17, which almost anybody could have won. So he has defeated Hamilcar in the Punic War. He's going to get popularity and influence off that. He's also going to get 25 towns for Rome. And further and nearer Spain, 2 more governorships show up. And are added to be expanded. One of the parts of the deal, Furius was sent off to Sicily. He accepted that instead of Aulus. It was pretty much a given because he's got so many people that he, like this guy, was going to get his faction cut up that way. We're going to see a legion increase, and I'll come back if any interesting card plays happen. Well, I see I screwed up. The Punic War, and sensibly so, attacks Cisalpine and Narbonese Gaul. So actually there should have been attacks going on while it was being ignored against Cisalpine Gaul. It's a shame that it's not been handled. We'll live with it. Oh, I still haven't loved this either. I did move some of the cards out though. Let's take a look at. There were quite a few, and it was kind of interesting. Tax farmer over here. Another grain. The drought and famine and whatever, bring those out, and they're much more valuable because they're doubled at cost of popularity, and Aulus is willing to take that hit. Why does he have... Oh, because he threw a game. Okay. That's not there. That's there. Over here, Scipio. Okay, here's one of the big things. He's got 20 influence now. He's a good rated leader to begin with, and after succeeding with that, getting 8 popularity and influence off that, he is now in danger of being able to declare himself consul for life. All he has to do is pay $10 to get the additional point of influence to put him into that place, and then every turn he can start hitting that because he's very young. That's going to be an obnoxious situation for Rome, I think. They may want to assassinate him. But it's one of the dangers. You put somebody good in, you defeat the war, now you got to get rid of him. And we see a lot of tax farmers. Here's Cato. Very, very high oratory. Going to increase their voting power. He also has the ability to do a free tribune every year once, which means he can veto a vote, or he can force his way in to being able to create one. Well, I'm going to load this one up for you. I got to take care of that thing, and then we go on to the next turn.